Team chemistry. 30 elements for coaches to foster cohesion, strengthen communication skills, and create a healthy sport culture. Written by André Lachance, award-winning professor and national team coach, and Jean-François Maynard, mental performance coach of Olympic champions. Narrated by Scott Malloch. Image. A table of 30 elements titled Team Chemistry. Each element has different symbols or illustrations that represent one of the 30 chapters. They are separated into the 4 sections of the book: creation, communication, collaboration, and coordination. Introduction. November 13th, 2019. Palacio de las Convenciones, Havana, Cuba. I had just finished giving my keynote address in a conference room. My presentation highlighted the leadership principles I use as a baseball coach. I collected all of my belongings before leaving the stage to take a seat and listen to the next speaker. Scheduled every 2 years, this international conference showcases the latest research and best practices in the world of elite sport and physical activity. The trip to Havana the day before was an interesting journey. Leaving from Ottawa, Canada, I missed my connecting flight and ended up arriving in Cuba very late at night. The lack of sleep made it very difficult to listen attentively to the presentations following mine. One presenter in particular did not help the cause. Not only did he speak in a monotonous voice, but his presentation was filled with abstract theoretical concepts. It was not very engaging. I had to fight hard to camouflage the yawns that kept creeping up on me. This presentation brought back painful memories of my high school chemistry classes. Atoms and molecules were not my cup of tea. My science mark did not get any better in college. My parents forced me to study hard sciences because back in the day, it was well known that studying hard sciences would lead to job opportunities. Big mistake. I scored 17% on my first chemistry exam. Luckily, the professor was nice enough to let me retake the exam. I ended up doing a little better, 25%. This result prompted an expedited visit to the guidance counselor's office for a change of program. From then on, I had no interest in anything related to chemistry concepts. Despite disliking the subject, I did retain a few positive memories of playing around with Bunsen burners, test tubes, and beakers during chemistry lab sessions. I could relate to the experiments because they were hands-on. As a predominantly visual learner, I was also captivated by something else in chemistry class: the periodic table of elements. This well-known visual chart, created in 1869 by Russian chemist Dmitry Mendeleev, provides a framework to organize the different elements that exist. For decades, teachers around the world have referred to this periodic table during chemistry classes. Regardless of where you grew up, you were exposed to this table at some point in your academic life. During the tedious presentation, I fell into daydreaming mode. What if I could give the periodic table of elements a new meaning? I wondered. I began scribbling in my notebook. A sudden rush of energy took over. Bye-bye yawns. I was immersed in my creative thinking. Searching old memories, I could not recall what the periodic table looked like exactly, so out came the iPhone. Using an image of the table for reference, I drew a series of small squares, organized in rows and columns. I was clearly not listening to the speaker anymore. Baseball has always been my passion, so I used the sport as a theme to fill every little square. I wrote the fundamental skills required to become a great player: swing mechanics, tracking fly balls, base running, throwing accuracy, and so on. Meanwhile, my co-author, Jean-François, JF, was in Toronto, Canada, getting ready to give a keynote presentation to PepsiCo's upper management team. Moments before hopping on stage, his phone vibrated. Incoming text message, André Lachance. As he had a few minutes to spare, he peeked at his phone to find out what I was up to. I had sent him a text message containing no written information, only a picture of a bunch of squares filled with my hard-to-read handwriting. JF was confused.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?